Lessons learned from Ukraine. War has changed. A lot of medics are facing new challenges on the battlefield. Some have reached out to us asking for ideas on how to carry large amount of kit on the front lines paired with adequate medical equipment needed for the missions. Medics, being part of combat teams, routinely have to carry armor, load-bearing equipment, large sustainment packs, as well as weapons and demolition tools. New, low-cost solutions can effectively target much more complex equipment far away from the front lines, which poses a huge risk both to the soldiers, the medics, and the casualties. This leads to evacuation times routinely ranging between 8 to 18 hours. So what can we do to mitigate the effects of prolonged evac times on the patient and the medic? Let's start with the individual soldier. Every soldier has an individual first aid kit, also known as IFAC, that supplies the medic with the tools to treat said soldier should he get injured. In order to facilitate adequate treatment, the soldier needs to carry sufficient amounts of gear not only to cover the whole march algorithm out of the IFAC, but also to sustain the prolonged treatment over this time frame. If we look at what happens if a whole squad of soldiers carries advanced IFACs with them, we can see that there is more than enough equipment spread throughout the squad to stabilize multiple critical casualties. This is not possible with the current minimally equipped IFACs. You can read our full IFAC guide on our Instagram page @European_medics. In addition to better equipping the individual soldiers, the medic also has to expand his capabilities in terms of gear. Just like tactical gear is spread out over multiple lines of kit on an operator's body, medics use the same approach to their medical equipment. The first line is to be used during point of injury care, where the medic is still under probable threat and taking off the pack might not be an option. The second line is used during tactical field care when the threat is no longer imminent. And the third line is the gear used for prolonged casualty care should that become necessary. The first line contains tools to provide immediate intervention at the point of injury and is carried in a march belt, fanny pack, or chest rig to be accessible to the medic without the need to take off your med bag. The second line is carried in a med bag and contains advanced items for procedures that should be performed during tactical field care and beyond. The third line will be carried in your main ruck together with your non-medical items and contains the gear necessary for prolonged casualty care. Additional PCC gear can be stored in Pelican boxes or duffel bags in a prepared location. You can read more about this concept on our Instagram page. We also recorded a full podcast episode on this topic, which is available on Spotify. Link is in bio. Another aspect of preparation is establishing assets to support prolonged care and decision-making far forward. One of these assets is telemedicine. Every effort should be made to establish a telemedical network for troops and medics to use. This telemed network should have multiple levels and should be able to support the medic through peer support from the field clinic, the trauma center, or even through specialist consultation if niche topic expert level opinions are required. To assist with telemedicine, there are multiple call scripts available publicly. This one is from the JTS CPG 94 on telemedicine. Making supplies available to frontline medics is essential to maintain treatment capabilities. Commercial drones offer a fantastic way of supplying lighter weight items such as medications or other lightweight material. Cargo drones can be used for transporting large amounts of equipment and present an excellent way of resupplying the provider in remote environments. Resupply bundles can also be pre-staged in the rear and then brought in with reinforcements or troop rotations moving forward towards the front line. In order to shorten the evacuation time as much as possible, every effort should be made to include options for evac in all levels of planning. Tools such as litters should be available in every team and trained with accordingly. For movement away from the point of injury, unmanned assets have proven very useful. These ground-based drones can carry hundreds of kilos of equipment and do not require large manpower for moving patients. Systems like these have been employed in Ukraine as well as other countries such as Lithuania, Germany, and Israel. Drone-based evac is also possible through the air, with drones being capable of lifting 180 kilograms of payload over 70 kilometers of distance. This concept has recently been employed in Ukraine successfully, and I'm sure that we'll see more of this in the very near future. Both the United States and the United Kingdom have already tested these methods in the recent past. Conventional evac using ground-based vehicles still remains the primary mode of medevac currently. All efforts should be taken to pre-position CASEVAC vehicles as close to the troops as safely possible. We made a guide on guerrilla medevac, which you can check out on our Instagram page. Okay, let's summarize. In order to ensure adequate amounts of supplies at the point of injury, we need to increase the gear available to the medic by enhancing the IFAKs as well as the medic's loadout using a 3-line principle. Decision making and expertise can be provided via telemedicine, and supplies can be delivered to frontline troops by drones or pre-stage resupply bundles. Evac assets should be prepared in advance using all possible access vectors to the patient. If you want to know more about this topic, check out our podcast episode on the medic loadout on Spotify. If you like our content, please be so kind and consider supporting us on Patreon, which allows us to do the work we do and share it with you. You can also join our Discord server with over 2,000 members where our community hangs out together. There are other infos on our website and Instagram, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.